You think you know vodka? You think it is the pure, clean, neutral spirit that the labels promise. You believe that all vodka is essentially the same, just a mix of ethanol and water, and that the only difference is the price tag. You are wrong. The bottle you are holding right now, the one you reach for every weekend, might be secretly filled with industrial-grade alcohol, chemical additives, and the very ingredients designed to give you the worst hangover of your life. This is the dirty secret of the liquor industry, a multi-billion-dollar race to the bottom where profit margins are prioritized over your health and your next morning. We are pulling back the curtain on the myth of the neutral spirit to expose the 8 vodka brands you should never drink again, and reveal the 2 exceptional alternatives that are actually safe, clean, and worth your money. The problem starts with the definition of vodka itself. By legal standard, vodka is a neutral spirit, distilled or treated to be without distinctive character, aroma, taste, or color. This broad definition has created a loophole the size of a distillery, allowing mass-market brands to cut corners at every stage of production. They source the cheapest possible base alcohol, often from low-grade grains or even industrial byproducts, and then rely on aggressive filtration and chemical manipulation to scrub away the harsh, unpleasant flavors. This is where the danger lies. When a spirit is distilled quickly and cheaply, it retains higher levels of impurities known as congeners, including methanol, acetaldehyde, and fusel oils. These are the toxic compounds that intensify hangovers, causing that pounding headache and nauseating feeling the next day. To mask the burn and harshness of these impurities, many brands resort to adding sweeteners like glycerin, sugar, or citric acid. These additives give the vodka a false sense of smoothness, adding a deceptive body and mouthfeel that tricks your palate into thinking you are drinking a premium product. You are not. You are drinking a chemically enhanced shortcut, and your body pays the price. Let us begin the countdown of the 8 brands you must immediately remove from your liquor cabinet, starting with the industrial giant that dominates the market, Smirnoff Vodka. Smirnoff is the epitome of mass production, a brand that prioritizes volume over every other consideration. It is distilled from mass-produced grain alcohol, and while the company touts its triple distillation and 10-time filtration, this aggressive processing is necessary only because the base spirit is so low-grade to begin with. The sheer scale of Smirnoff's operation makes meticulous quality control impossible. Furthermore, the brand's flavored varieties are notorious for relying on synthetic additives and artificial flavorings that are far removed from natural ingredients. When you choose Smirnoff, you are choosing a commodity spirit that has been chemically engineered to be palatable, not a clean quality product. You are choosing the taste of volume over the integrity of the spirit, and that choice will always lead to a harsher experience. Next on the list is a brand that has successfully marketed itself as a craft product while operating on an industrial scale. Tito's Handmade Vodka. The word handmade is a powerful piece of marketing, but the reality is far more complex. Tito's is produced in massive quantities, and the company has faced multiple lawsuits challenging its handmade claims. The truth is that Tito's is made from corn and distilled in a continuous column still, a process that is efficient but hardly artisanal. The brand's massive production volume makes the notion of a small batch craft spirit a complete illusion. While Tito's is often praised for its smoothness, this consistency is achieved through a production process that is far from the rustic image they project. You are paying a premium for a marketing story, not for a genuinely small batch, high-quality spirit. The illusion of craft cannot hide the industrial scale, and the inconsistencies that come with it are often masked by the very additives we are trying to avoid. The third brand to avoid is an international icon that has lost its way. Absolut Vodka. Absolut built its reputation on a clean, Swedish heritage and a commitment to quality, but its massive industrial scale has compromised that legacy. Like many global brands, Absolut's primary focus is on market saturation and profit, which inevitably leads to compromises in the distillation process. The most significant issue lies in the brand's extensive line of flavored vodkas. These colorful, heavily marketed bottles are often packed with artificial flavorings and excessive sugar, turning what should be a simple spirit into a sugary cocktail base. While the unflavored version is acceptable, the sheer volume of production and the reliance on artificiality in their product line signals a brand that has sacrificed purity for commercial appeal. You are buying a legacy brand that has become a factory product, and the integrity of the spirit has been diluted by the demands of the global market. Moving on, we come to Ketel One Vodka. This brand, while often perceived as a premium choice, suffers from the same industrial inconsistencies that plague other large-scale producers. While the family history and copper pot stills are heavily advertised, the reality of their massive output means that the process is far more mechanized than the marketing suggests. The true concern, once again, lies in their flavored offerings. Ketel One's flavored vodkas rely on artificial flavorings to achieve their desired profile, a clear sign that the brand is prioritizing market trends over the purity of the spirit. When a brand with a reputation for quality starts cutting corners on its flavored line, it raises serious questions about the overall consistency and commitment to traditional, clean distillation methods. Do not be fooled by the heritage. The industrial machine has taken over our fifth brand to avoid is the budget-friendly, mass-market choice New Amsterdam vodka. This brand is a prime example of a company prioritizing cost efficiency above all else. New Amsterdam is distilled from corn and filtered extensively, but this heavy filtration is often a necessity to cover up the harshness of a lower-grade base alcohol. The brand's inexpensive price point is a direct reflection of the quality of the ingredients and the speed of the distillation process. The spirit is often described as having a noticeable, undefined corn sweetness, which is a common indicator of a spirit that has been rushed through production and relies on residual sugars or additives to smooth out the rough edges. New Amsterdam is a mixer designed to be drowned out by juice or soda, and it is not a spirit you should ever consider drinking neat. It is a shortcut to a cheap buzz, and your body will feel the difference. The next morning, the sixth brand on our list is Wheatley Vodka. This brand attempts to leverage the reputation of its parent company, but the product itself often falls short of the implied quality. Wheatley is produced on a large scale, and like many industrial vodkas, it suffers from inconsistencies and the presence of residual impurities. The brand relies heavily on marketing to suggest a level of purity and craftsmanship that the final product does not always deliver. When a vodka is produced at such a high volume, the distillers are often forced to make less precise cuts during the distillation process, meaning they leave in more of the heads and tails, the parts of the run that contain the most impurities. These impurities are the very compounds that contribute to a harsh taste and a brutal hangover. Wheatley is a brand that promises more than it delivers, and you should not gamble your health on its marketing claims. Next, we turn our attention to Sobieski Vodka. This Polish brand is often touted as a budget-friendly rye vodka, but its industrial production and lack of transparency regarding its sourcing make it a brand to avoid. While rye is a superior base grain for vodka, Sobieski's massive production scale means that the quality of the rye and the meticulousness of the distillation process are often compromised. The resulting spirit is frequently described as having a noticeable harshness and a lack of the clean, smooth finish you would expect from a quality rye vodka. This harshness requires heavy mixing to cover up, defeating the purpose of a clean spirit. Sobieski is a cheap option, and in the world of vodka, cheap almost always means a compromise on purity and a higher concentration of the impurities that cause discomfort. Finally, the eighth brand you should never drink again is Burnett's Vodka. Burnett's is arguably the bottom of the barrel, a brand that sacrifices quality at nearly every stage of production to achieve its rock-bottom price point. It is made from low-grade alcohol and relies almost entirely on artificial flavors to mask the inherent weaknesses of the base spirit. The unflavored version is often described as having a chemical, almost medicinal taste, and the aftertaste is frequently reported as nauseating. Burnett's is a clear example of a spirit that has been manufactured for the sole purpose of being cheap, with no regard for the quality of the drinking experience or the health of the consumer. If you are looking for a spirit that will leave you feeling terrible the next day, Burnett's is a reliable choice. You are better off avoiding this brand entirely and choosing a spirit that respects the process of distillation. Now that we have exposed the 8 brands that prioritize profit and volume over purity. It is time to look at the good news. Not all vodka is a chemical cocktail. There are brands that respect the process, use superior ingredients, and maintain a meticulous commitment to quality. These are the brands that understand that a truly clean spirit does not need chemical additives to mask its flaws. They are the brands that are safe, smooth, and genuinely worth the investment. The first safe alternative is the widely respected Grey Goose vodka. Grey Goose is the gold standard for a reason. It is distilled in France, using only 2 ingredients: high quality French winter wheat and pure spring water from the Cognac region. The dedication to quality is evident in every step of the process, from the single-source grain to the meticulous distillation. Grey Goose is distilled only once in a continuous column still, a process that is highly efficient and gentle, preserving the subtle character of the wheat while achieving an exceptional level of purity. The result is a naturally smooth, clean, and slightly sweet spirit that requires no artificial additives to achieve its renowned finish. When you choose Grey Goose, you are choosing a brand that has made an unwavering commitment to ingredient quality and a process that ensures a clean, consistent, and enjoyable experience. Our second safe and recommended alternative is Belvedere vodka. Belvedere is the authentic Polish craft spirit, a brand that is a true testament to the heritage of vodka production. It is distilled in Poland from 100% Dankowski Gold rye, a superior grain that imparts a subtle, creamy texture and a hint of spice to the spirit. Belvedere is distilled 4 times, a process that is carefully controlled to remove impurities while retaining the rye's distinctive character. Crucially, Belvedere contains absolutely no additives, relying solely on the quality of the rye and the purity of the water. The result is a clean, consistent profile with a smooth, slightly creamy mouthfeel and a long, satisfying finish. Belvedere is a brand that is transparent about its process and its ingredients, offering a genuine, unadulterated vodka experience. It is a spirit that respects the tradition of vodka making and, most importantly, respects the consumer. The choice is now clear. The next time you are standing in the liquor aisle, remember the dirty secret of the vodka industry. Remember the industrial scale, the chemical additives, and the hidden impurities that are designed to trick your palate and punish your body. You have the power to stop poisoning yourself with cheap shortcuts and misleading marketing. Invest in quality. Choose a brand that respects the process and the purity of the spirit. Choose Grey Goose or Belvedere and experience the difference that genuine quality makes. Your health, your palate, and your next morning will thank you for making the informed choice. Stop drinking the brands that are designed to be forgotten and start enjoying the spirits that are crafted to be savored. The time to upgrade your drink and protect your health is now.